Welcome to another episode of the Carlito Monroe Show. I'm your host, Carlito Monroe. Before we get started on what I wanted to talk about today, I got my social media information at the bottom of the screen. They're all the same, Carlito Monroe Shows. YouTube, like, share, subscribe. But I want to try to make this as short as I can and as simple as I can. You hear a lot about the keto diet and the different ways to do it, and then there's people calling it a fad diet, and it's not been around long, and it's not sustainable, and just different things like that. And I don't want to call them naysayers. They're just that's their own anecdotal experience of the diet. I mean, if you go by their view of a fad diet, all diets are fad diets. I guess right now the keto is hot. I guess that's what makes it a fad diet, but it's something that actually works, and it works fast. It doesn't waste any time working its magic. But you still have to be in a certain state of mind to be able to follow it. Not necessarily to a T, but follow it enough to where you're not eating the junk food, not doing all the snacking, not, going to all the fast food places that you pass by before you get home. I've done the keto diet at least 3 times. I'm doing it now. And I've been able to sustain it like the second time that I did it. But this is what happened with me. It's my own personal story. The first time I did it was a guy to work with, and he was saying, hey, if you want to lose weight, this was around the pandemic, and the gyms were closed. I started gaining a whole lot of weight. I'm 6'4", and I think I got up to like 268, 270, something like that. My knees were bothering me, backs bothered me, elbows hurting. Since the gyms were closed, I couldn't just do my regular going to the gym work, and I never really watched what I ate. I just ate whatever, and I snacked all the time. I always had potato chips and cakes and pies and stuff in there, but I never got really big because I was overweight and technically obese, but I never got over the top with it because I would go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. So I think that was kind of leveling me off, but not going to the gym, it started getting away from me. I started snoring, just all this stuff that comes along with weight gain. And the guy told me about it. He said, oh, well, you want to lose weight, you can do the keto diet plus intermittent fasting. And I had heard about this, but I had never read anything about it. He told me what he does or whatever and look it up. So I looked it up, looked at YouTube videos and different things on it, read about it a little bit, and got a better understanding how the whole concept of it is. I can't think of the guy's name, but there was a guy, he was a real fat guy, and I hate to use the term fat, but that's what it is. He's a real fat guy, and it was years ago, and he didn't eat for like a year or something. I think he drank water, but he didn't eat for like a year or even 2, and he lost all of this weight. Your body, to simplify this all, your body is set up for survival. It's whatever it takes to survive. So like they say, it's so many days you don't eat, so many days you don't drink, you can't survive or whatever. But it's your body's set up for that. So we get our energy from carbohydrates. And everybody understands this. So everything you eat's got some carbohydrates in it. Some has a lot, some has a little. But that's where you get your energy from. And then people eat. Well, the keto diet in a nutshell is just lowering your carbohydrates intake under 50 grams. By doing that, your body kicks into overdrive and says, hey, it's not enough carbs for energy. Let's go to the secondary source. The secondary source is your body fat. Your body fat is just stored energy. So when you see somebody that's obese or that's overweight or you consider fat, they just have a lot of energy stored that they're not using. That's as simple as it. That's as simple as anybody can make it. When you're fat, you have a lot of energy that's stored that you're not using. The average fat person is not exercising. They're just eating, and they're eating at all hours of the day. They may eat 10, 12 times a day. And then when I'm saying eating might not necessarily be meals, but it may be snacks. It may be potato chips, a little pie here, eat some chips. I've worked with guys that are obese, and the whole time they're eating every 10 minutes. And it may be from boredom, but they're snacking or they're eating on something, or they're drinking a huge Hux cup with Diet Coke, which is probably one of the worst things you can drink is Diet Coke. And I'm not even this super health guy or nothing, but just they'll have this big Diet Coke. You might as well just drink Coke. It's the same thing. And so, so they may eat out of boredom, but you keep eating, and your system only digests so much at a time, and it stacks up. And then as it digests, you're not burning these calories you're taking in. So since you're not burning these calories you're taking in, it stores for survival mode when you may need it one day. The thing is, we're westernized. We're never needing that stored fat. So it's just fat that keeps building, and then it stretches your skin out, and then you get a lot of stretch marks. And then you finally want to go get a gastric bypass or something like that and try to lose weight. Then you have all this loose skin. And then you got to have surgery, get that loose skin cut off. And then, now you look, but if you were naked, you could see the scars from the surgery, from the gastric bypass, and the stretch marks from when you were big, and the surgery marks. You're going to see all of that. So you still have your self-confidence is still going to be low even after you're smaller, because you know all these different marks on you. Before you get that far, this keto diet, intermittent fasting, is not as tough as people thought. So my personal journey, like I said, I was like 268, 269, 270, something like that. It's around the pandemic. He told me about doing it. And then he told me about OMAD, which is an acronym for 1 meal a day. And that just seems insane. It seems insane because I was like, man, 1 meal a day. I said, there's no way I'm just going to be able to eat 1 meal a day. I mean, maybe I can get away with eating one big Buford a day. But nah, that's not. It's 1 meal a day. It's simple. Don't eat bread. It's got a lot of carbs. Just eat something that doesn't have carbs. You can still eat pork and beef and all of that. And me personally, I don't eat a lot of pork. I will eat bacon. It's still pork. I will eat pepperoni and stuff. But I try not to eat that much of it. But so I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. With my job, I may work 9, 10, 12 hours a day. That's half a day right there. There's only 24 hours in a day. So what I would do is, to kickstart my keto journey, I went on a 48-hour fast. They recommend going a 48-hour fast. Don't eat anything for 48 hours. That seems crazy. It's not that tough. You can drink coffee, black coffee with nothing in it, just black coffee. You can add MCT oil and still maintain your fast. And when you do that, that knocks your hunger out. Because when your stomach growling, it's not your stomach growling, it's your large intestines gurgling from the last thing you ate. So you're not hungry, but we were taught to think that means you're hungry. So, but that's what I did. I drank black coffee with the MCT oil, bought some MCT oil, put that in there. And in 48 hours, I had the little keto test stick, and it was showing I had traces. Then I invested in a meter, and where it pricks your finger, and you can see, where you're at, and the maximum that they think as far as weight loss is like 1.5. I think it's milliliters. I could be wrong on that. It's like 1.5 to 3.0, and sometimes you're just lower than that, but you're still burning fat, but not at the maximum rate that you could be burning it. And then I went into coming off that 48-hour fast, not eating. I went into having my first meal, and I'm trying to be healthy. So I bought these waters, which is a good water drink, especially if you're not a big water drinker like myself. I drink, I think it's LaCroix. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it, but they have them at Schnucks. It's like little canned water, like seltzer canned water. And it has a hint of flavor. There's no flavoring in it, but I don't even know how they did. They could just be lying on the can, and I don't know. But they have like, some of them have a little hint of, all of them have like a little hint of flavor. But the one I drink is the beach plum. That's the one that has a lot more flavor to it, in my opinion. But I drink that for water, and then had the salad, and then I used buttermilk ranch because it's high in fat, because the diet is based on high fat, minimum protein, low carb. It's not that hard to eat like that. And if you really pay attention to most diets, the Mediterranean diet, all these diets, that's still the root of all of it. The root of all of it is still a caloric deficit and low carb. It's still that. No matter what diet it is, it seems like every diet I've looked into, the Mediterranean diet, there's another diet, the snake diet or something, that they're all, it's still coming down to your ketones doing the work and burning the body fat. And so I did that. And the first month, I was told that I would lose 20 pounds. I didn't lose 20 pounds. And I think a lot of reason I didn't lose 20 pounds because I was still working out. So every time you work out while you're in ketosis, you lose a lot of your ketones because your body produces a natural sugar, the glucose, the natural carbohydrate, basically. So it tells your body, say, hey, well, I got this natural sugar going on right now. I don't need your ketones. So your ketones drop really low. So I think that may have had something to do with me not getting the 20 pounds in the first month, but I got like 17 pounds, something like that. And I was eating once a day, basically doing a 23 to 24 hour fast every day. And then at the end of each month, I would do anywhere from 48-hour fast to a 72-hour fast. And, but that was usually, I would do that after a cheat day. Well, not cheat day. Well, the first month I did a cheat day. I had like, I didn't eat in my window, my fasting window. I mean, my eating window, because I do a 16 and 8. My eating window is from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. But I may only eat once or twice during that time. But when I had the cheat day, I had breakfast. I didn't even eat in my window. I was just eating all day, enjoying myself, eating like I always did before I got on the keto diet. And then after that, the next 3 days, I didn't eat to get myself back into ketosis, to burn up those carbohydrates. The very next day, I went to the gym. I did extensive cardio the whole hour. I did 20 minutes on the elliptical. I did 20 minutes on the treadmill. I did 10 minutes on the Stairmaster, and then I just waited and stretched out the rest of the time. But I did that to help burn those carbs off, and then I didn't eat to get me back into ketosis, and I went back strong again, then did the next month. And then at the end of that second month, I didn't do a cheat day. I just did one cheat meal, and even on that cheat meal, I paid attention to what I was eating. I still tried not to eat that much carbs. So, I think I had like a cheeseburger or something, like a favorite cheeseburger joint. And so I had the bread and had the fries, but I didn't eat all the fries. I probably ate like 10 fries or 8 fries or something like that. I was kind of making sure I didn't want to eat all those fries. I knew I was eating the bread, but then I ate like half the sandwich and then just ate the meat out of it. You kind of just get your mind wrapped around that. So I don't have as many carbs to burn. And I got back into ketosis faster by doing my cardio routine, the elliptical, the treadmill, and the Stairmaster in that hour. And I was right back into ketosis in a day. So it took me, I think I was on it for about 5 months. I think I did it for about 5 months. And I went from, 268, 270, whatever I was, down to 202 or 203, somewhere around there. I had veins showing, a lot of cut and definition, 6-pack I hadn't seen since I was in high school. It works. But where I made the mistake is I didn't do anything to maintain it. Because once I done, I was down to the size. I was going to the gym and, I'm wearing my muscle shirts and doing the different things, showing my results and veins popping. And I went right back to eating like I always did. I went back to eating potato chips and little cakes and little pies and going to the different fast food places, getting big. And I'm not saying getting big, purchasing big Bufords, Big Macs, anything with big in it, you got no business with. Big gulps, soda, none of that stuff that says big, that means it's going to make you big. This is pretty much, that's the easiest way to do it. So I gained weight back and I went from 201, 202 to, I think I got up to like 250. And I said, nah, I gotta get back on it. So I got back on keto. I got back on the keto diet, intermittent fasting the second time. When I did it the second time, I knew a lot of the do's and don'ts. It's simple stuff. It's not over the top. You could get kidney stones, but there's a thing called no salt. So you don't put too much salt in your food and have all this sodium. It's called no salt. So I would put that on all my food. I would put it in my water and lemon juice, real lemon juice. And so lemon juice and salt helps keep that where you don't get the kidney stones. But I did that the second time, lost weight. This time I got down to 197. I was out of the 200 club. And I was more defined than I was the last time. I said, yeah, I'm going to maintain this. And I was able to maintain that for maybe 3 months, 4 months. And then I stopped all over again. I stopped again. And when I maintained it, what I did in a nutshell was I still ate low carb. I still ate once, maybe twice a day. I still intermittent fasted. But I wasn't ate up with the eating low carb, because there'd be some days I would eat rice and fish, as a meal, but it'd be micronutrient. It'd be a little small thing of rice, one piece of fish, and then I would eat that, and then that'd be my meal. And then if I ate something else, it might be a piece of chicken, or it might be another piece of fish or something with some rice. Now the rice is not low carb, but I would eat that. And so I wasn't necessarily in ketosis, but I kept myself smaller because I wasn't eating fast food. I was always eating, had the fish, had the rice, had the broccoli, had the fish, had the broccoli, had the chicken. It was a mix and match all week long. And then some days I wouldn't eat at all. If I was supposed to eat and then I had to go to work, because I won't take food to work, I just say, well, I just won't eat today. And then I wait and eat the next day when I get to my window again, 11 to 7. So that's pretty much what I was doing. I drink a lot of water. I was drinking coffee. Well, actually, I stopped drinking so much coffee when I stopped the keto diet. But then I would have one cheat meal a week, usually a Saturday or Sunday. Me and my wife may go out to eat someplace, and then I would go ahead and enjoy myself. But I still would watch what I was eating. So if I was going to eat, if I was going to go to Texas Roadhouse, is one of my favorite steak places, and Longhorn also. If I was to go to one of those places, I get a steak, and then I get fries. Then I kind of look at them fries. Yeah, I'm not going to eat them fries. I'm going to eat them, but I'm not going to eat all of them. I might, because they had a big Texas fry, so I might eat 3 or 4 of those fries. And I was able to maintain my size. I gained I gained probably 5 pounds, 6 pounds, but that was water weight, because, you're going up and down. And then I was still intermittent fasting. I would still do a 24, 48 hour fast sometimes. And it's still a way of life, and you have to change that way of life. No matter what diet you're doing, you have to change the way you eat for it to work, period. So I hate when people say, well, I ain't gonna say I hate. That's a strong word. I don't subscribe to what people are saying that the keto diet is a fad diet, because whatever works. Whatever works. I'm not a fan of different religions, but if that helps you be a good person, I'm all for it. So if somebody gets on a keto diet, even if I don't agree with it, I agree with it personally, but if somebody doesn't agree, don't tell them it's a fad diet and don't do it. I mean, whatever works for them works for them. So they may do it and it works for them, and then they figure out how to eat a certain way to maintain that. Because all diets is a maintenance thing. You have to be able to maintain it. You have to change the way you eat. That's 70% how everybody you see that's built a certain way, even if they're genetically skinny, 70% of that is their diet. 70%. 20% is probably them working out. Another 5% is mindset, and the other 5% is genetics. So people have to consider that when you're talking to people. So keto does definitely work. At intermittent fast, even if you're not doing a keto diet, start off trying the intermittent fasting, because almost every diet, it still comes down to that. Because even if a trainer gives you a meal plan, they'll give you this meal plan, and it might be 2-3 meals and some snacks or whatever. It might be 4 or 5 meals, but they're micronutrients. They're small. It's nothing for you to get full. It's just something to get put on your stomach for energy. It's not about getting full. So you won't see dairy in a trainer's meal plan. Usually you won't see dairy because technically dairy is not good for you. I try not to eat dairy. I mean, I'll eat cheese, but I try not to eat much of it. Most of my meals is not really cheese in it. I don't drink milk. I grew up drinking the Blue Cap milk. The closest milk is my wife has almond milk, and I don't even drink that. I might put a little bit of it in the bottom of my protein drink. I put a little bit of it in there, and the rest of it water, and then mix in the protein. The protein I take, and it might not even be the best protein, but it's a low carb protein. You can get it at Walmart. It's the Flintstones. I think Fruity Pebbles Flintstones. It's about that big, but of course it ain't filled to the top. It's like halfway. But that's the protein I take. It's low carb, I put a little bit of almond milk at the bottom, then the water the rest of the way, and then put that in there. It tastes like you eating Fruity Pebbles, but it's low carb. But a meal for me during keto is not much. It's not much, man. I haven't eaten a day yet, and I had plans on eating a hamburger. I got keto bread, which has got 0 carbs. And it's got carbs in it, but then it's got fiber that offsets that. That's what makes the net carbs. So it's got 0 carbs in it, the bread. It's not Wonder Bread. It don't taste like Wonder Bread, but it does taste good. But I'm thinking about making a hamburger and putting mayo on it and probably some leafy lettuce from salad mix or something like that, and eat that hamburger, and that'll be my meal. That'll be my meal for the day. If I go to the gym later, I'll probably do a protein shake, and that'll be it for the day. And I probably won't eat again till 24 hours till I get to that time, again. I've been doing it now since the first of the year. So we're about a month and a half in doing keto, and I'm down to 225 from 251. I think I was 251. So I'm down to 225 from 251. And that's been, a little over a month and a half. And, but meanwhile, again, I'm going to the gym. And that's probably assisting along the way. I recommend everybody go to the gym if you're worrying about getting loose skin. Now, if you're really big, that's a lot of loose skin, a lot of stretch marks. When I got big, I didn't have stretch marks. Like, I don't have any stretch marks. But so usually if you don't have stretch marks and you work out and you lose weight, it's pretty much going to tighten back up. But if you lose weight really fast and you're not working out, because you don't have to work out to lose weight on keto, but it's not going to look as good as if you do. I think you will lose weight faster if you don't work out, but I think you will lose weight, in my opinion, better if you do work out while you're doing it. They say you lose muscle or whatever. I mean, there's been some studies, but I don't agree that I haven't lost muscle on any of it. Am I as strong as I was with? No, I'm not as strong, and I'm not lifting as heavy of a weight, but I'm an older guy. I mean, lifting a heavier weight, what does that really do? That makes your muscles bigger if you lift heavy, right? I'm not in bodybuilding competition. I don't fight for a living. I'm a regular schmo. I'm a man of a certain age. Yeah, it's all right to be strong. I'm not weak by far. I'm not a weak man. I'm just as strong as anybody else in the gym. I used to lift heavier weights, but now I lift a moderate weight with a certain amount of resistance, but I still want to be able to do supersets because my workout consists of a lot of supersets. That helps me burn fat. It helps me maintain the muscle I have. Is it help me build muscle? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But I just want to be in good shape and lose some body fat. And then this time around, since I'm almost 50, I'm going to maintain it this time. So that's it for me for any of the bigs, big gulps, big Bufords, Big Macs. That's over. Fast food, that's over for me. Even for a cheat meal, that I'm not doing fast food. If I do a cheat meal, it's going to be, maybe some kind of pasta or something like that. But yeah, the Big Mac and all those days are over me because that stuff is killing us slowly. It's killing us all slowly, and we don't realize it. But it is. It's good. I love McDonald's fries. Now, that's something I probably will still get from McDonald's is their fries. I won't get the Big Macs and their burgers and all that stuff anymore, but I will go get the basket of fries if I have a cheap meal or something. So I'm going to go get these basket of fries. And those are probably fries I probably would eat all of. But yeah, man, and I just I leave everybody that sees this video with that. It's keto. Do not be ashamed of it. Do not be ashamed of intermittent fasting. It does work. But if you're going to do it, you got to get your mindset right and stick to it. You can't play with it. Stick to it. And once you get your weight down and put on that dress you want to wear on, or put on those pants, or look a certain way in the gym, or look a certain way that you want to look for men and women, you're going to have to change the way you eat after that. You don't have to continue to eat keto. You can continue to eat the keto way, or you can just mix and match. And that's pretty much what I do is mix and match. I still roughly eat low carb, and everything that you see these different gym people online eating is always rice and chicken, rice and fish, broccoli and chicken, broccoli and fish. And that's pretty much what my meal consists of through the week. And sometimes I won't eat. And that's just in a nutshell. You have to be prepared to change how you eat. But that to me, that's how I look at keto, and hopefully everybody can take from this whatever they can get out of it, and they can use in their own life. But if you like shows like this, I talk about everything. I got different stories in my life, stuff about dieting, stuff about working out, stuff about gym, just all kind of stuff that's going on in my head that I want to get out because this stuff is kind of therapeutic for me. Just like, share, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram, Carlito Monroe Show. Go ahead and wrap this up. It's your boy, Carlito Monroe. Peace.